Some of you don't ride alone because you have to. You ride alone because group rides are slower, softer, and missing the point. Someone invited you this weekend. 8 guys. A WhatsApp group. You said maybe. You meant no. And it wasn't because you don't like them. It's because you already know what a group ride actually costs. The waiting, the pace that isn't yours, the route someone else planned, the ride that was supposed to clear your head, now full of someone else's noise. So let's say the thing nobody says out loud at the next invite. You don't hate people. You hate group rides. 2 completely different things. And you've spent years feeling guilty for something that was never a flaw. In the next 10 minutes, I'll tell you exactly what's happening, why your brain rejects group rides, what solo riding actually does to it, and why the men who figured this out aren't antisocial. They're just wired differently than most. The road is the one place nobody gets to follow you, and that's exactly the point. But here's what nobody says about why group rides actually feel wrong, and it has nothing to do with the people. Picture it. 10 bikes. A route someone planned last Tuesday. You show up, gear up, wait. Wait for the guy who's always late. Wait at every intersection for the guy in the back. Ride a road you've done 100 times because it's easy for everyone. Stop at a cafe you didn't choose. Stay longer than you wanted. And somewhere around the 2nd hour, you realize this isn't a ride. It's a parade you didn't agree to lead. Psychologists call this external regulation. Your pace, your route, your stops, all filtered through group consensus. Everything that was supposed to be yours now answers to a committee. For a certain kind of man, that doesn't feel like riding. It feels like everything he got on the bike to get away from. But the real question isn't why group rides feel wrong. It's what solo riding actually does to your brain, and why it needs that specifically. On a solo ride, your brain enters a state it almost never gets in modern life. No one ahead setting the pace, no mirrors to check for stragglers, no unspoken pressure to match someone else's line through a corner. Every decision belongs entirely to you. Psychologists Edward Deci and Richard Ryan built an entire body of research around this. Self-determination theory. The core finding: humans perform and feel best under autonomous motivation, acting from internal drive with 0 external regulation. Group activity, even friendly group activity, runs on the opposite. External regulation, where the pace and the choices belong to the group, not you. That's the switch. Solo riding is autonomous motivation in its purest form. Group riding is external regulation wearing a leather jacket. There's also something neuroscientists call default mode network suppression. The voice in your head, the one replaying everything that went wrong this week, goes quiet on a solo ride. Not because you tried, because the road demands everything you have. Lane position, hazard detection, throttle, balance. Your brain can't run the loop and ride the bike at the same time, so it drops the loop. Group rides engage this mechanism part way. Solo rides complete it. Most channels tell you riding is about freedom. This one tells you why your brain actually needs it. If that's different, subscribe. But here's the part nobody talks about. What you actually lose the moment someone else joins the ride. Think about what you trade on a group ride. The left turn nobody planned. The random stop at a roadside that looked interesting. The pace that matches your mood, not the slowest rider in the pack. You trade the moment, somewhere around mile 20, when the noise in your head finally goes quiet. That moment requires 2 things: perceived freedom and freedom from evaluation. The feeling that you're choosing what you do and that nobody's watching you do it. A group ride removes both. Someone's always watching. Someone's always waiting. Someone always has an opinion about the route. Even on a group ride, you're still in the social contract. And for the man who got on the bike to escape exactly that, the group ride is the one place the escape never arrives. And this is where the two types of riders actually separate. Not by skill, not by bike, by what they need the road to be. Here's what nobody says out loud. You've done the group ride. Gear on, route planned, everyone smiling at the first stop. Coffee in hand, talking about a game you didn't watch. And you're sitting on your bike, engine off, hand still resting on the ignition, thinking about the turn you passed 20 minutes back, the one nobody else even noticed, the one you'd have taken if you were alone. And somewhere in that moment, surrounded by people, you felt more alone than you ever do on an empty road at 6 in the morning. That's not a coincidence. Being surrounded by people who don't ride the way you ride is lonelier than riding with no one at all. Because on the empty road, you're alone by choice, alone with purpose. Every decision yours. That's not loneliness, that's ownership. And the men who figured that out stopped explaining themselves, stopped texting back maybe, stopped feeling guilty for the group they didn't join. They just ride. Early. Alone. Their pace, their road, their silence. Nothing to prove. Nobody to wait for. Just them, the machine, and a road that goes wherever they decide. So why do people keep insisting you join? And why does their insistence say more about them than it does about you? Here's what the antisocial label gets wrong. Most solo riders aren't short on people. Most of them have a group chat that's been quiet for 3 weeks, friends who still ask, riding buddies they actually like. The bond didn't disappear. It just stopped needing the ride to prove itself. The brotherhood doesn't show up at 60 miles an hour with everyone pretending to enjoy the same pace. It shows up at the garage, at the bar after, in the group chat at 1 a.m. when somebody's bike breaks down 2 states away and 6 people drop what they're doing. Real riders don't measure loyalty by who showed up to Saturday's ride. They measure it by who'd actually answer the phone at 2 a.m. Different test. Most groups pass the first one and fail the second. They've never felt what you feel at mile 30 on an empty road. Never had the noise go completely quiet. Never taken a left turn for no reason and felt something shift. They think riding is about the destination, the cafe, the group photo, the post. You know the ride is the thing. Psychologists studying riders found something specific. Men who consistently prefer solo experiences and high-focus activities score significantly higher on internal locus of control. The belief that your own choices, not the group, determine the quality of your experience. This isn't a personality flaw. It's a different operating system. It's not that the group ruins the ride. It's that the group prevents the ride from becoming what it needs to be. And this is what solo riders already know, that everyone else spends years trying to figure out. So what does it actually say about you? That you'd rather ride alone than ride with a crowd. It says you separated the friendship from the performance of the friendship. That's not a flaw. That's standards. It's exactly why the solo rides are the ones you remember. Not the group photo, the turn nobody planned, the stop for no reason. The ride home in silence that said more than the whole group conversation did. The group rides were fun. The solo rides were yours. And group riding isn't dangerous because the riders are bad. It's dangerous because group dynamics default to the lowest common denominator. Somebody runs a yellow to keep up. Somebody follows too close because falling behind feels like failing. That's not riding skill breaking down. That's psychology breaking down. and the bike just happens to be involved. So the next time someone asks why you always ride alone, you don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe anyone a reason for choosing the one road that's entirely yours. And if they still don't get it, let them know the bus has Wi-Fi. The group riders will always have their WhatsApp group, their matching gear, their cafe stops. None of that is wrong. It's just not what you came for. You came for the mile where the noise stops, the turn nobody planned, the version of yourself that only shows up when there's no audience. Solo riders aren't the ones who couldn't find a group. They're the ones who found themselves instead. And once you've had that, a group ride will never be enough. Next video, we're going into the man who quit riding. Not because of the risk, because of what he thought he was leaving behind and what actually left with the bike. Drop a comment below. The moment you realized solo rides were different, the ride, the road, the feeling. Tell us the real one. We actually want to know. Ride what's true.